One enemy can destroy a family. But what happens when that enemy is strong enough to destroy two houses at the same time? Dutton Ranch Season May 2nd not just bring another land fight or another family argument. It may bring something much worse, a threat that knows where every crack already exists, a threat that does not need to break the family from the outside because the damage has already started from within. Season 1 left behind anger, secrets, power struggles, and wounds that never truly healed. And now, if Season 2 follows the dark path many fans are expecting, the next battle will not just be about land, money, or control. It will be about survival. Because when two powerful houses are already carrying old pain, all it takes is one smart enemy to turn that pain into a war. And the scariest part is this, the enemy of both houses may not be a stranger at all. They may already be closer than anyone thinks. Season 1 did not end like a peaceful chapter closing. It ended like the first spark before a fire. That is why Dutton Ranch Season 2 has so much room to become darker, more personal, and far more dangerous than what came before. If we look closely at how the first season shaped its conflicts, it becomes clear that the story was never only about the ranch itself. Yes, the land mattered. Power mattered. Family loyalty mattered. But underneath all of that, the real story was about pressure. Every character was carrying pressure from a different direction. Some were trying to protect what they believed belonged to them. Some were trying to prove themselves. Some were hiding pain, regret, or anger behind a hard face. And others were standing in the middle of old family tension without fully understanding how dangerous it could become. That is exactly why Season 2 feels so important before it has even fully unfolded. The first season did not solve the core problems. It only exposed them. It showed us who was loyal, who was angry, who was afraid, and who might be willing to cross a line when pushed too far. In other words, Season 1 built the perfect ground for an enemy to step in and use all of those weaknesses against both houses. To understand why the idea of the enemy of both houses feels so powerful, we first have to look at what Season 1 left behind. At the surface, the story gave us all the things fans expect from a ranch drama: conflict over land, family pride, tense relationships, emotional scenes, and power moves that always carried a deeper meaning. But beneath the surface, the season kept planting something else: division. It planted division in conversations, in silence, in old grudges, and in the way characters looked at each other when trust started to slip. That matters because in stories like this, open war usually does not begin with one big event. It begins with smaller emotional cracks. A person feels ignored. Another feels cheated. Someone starts hiding something. Another person makes a choice out of fear instead of truth. Then slowly, those cracks spread. By the time everyone notices how serious things have become, the damage is already too deep to control. That is the kind of setup that can turn a normal family drama into a full season of betrayal. The reason Season 1 matters so much to our Season 2 predictions is because it did not give us closure. It gave us tension. It gave us unfinished business. And unfinished business is one of the most dangerous things in a drama like Dutton Ranch. When characters are forced to keep living beside people they no longer fully trust, the story becomes unstable. It creates a world where every conversation can hide a threat and every alliance can break under pressure. That is exactly why the phrase, enemy of both houses, feels bigger than just a villain title. It sounds like a warning. It suggests that the next threat will not simply attack one side while the other side defends itself. It suggests a much smarter and more painful kind of conflict, one where both sides are vulnerable, both sides are being watched, and both sides may be pushed into making mistakes that help destroy them. If Season 2 really wants to raise the stakes, it has the perfect chance to do it now. Think about the emotional state of a family after a season filled with conflict. Nobody enters the next chapter fresh and calm. They enter it carrying baggage. And baggage is where the danger begins. A family secret from the past does not disappear just because nobody talks about it. Hurt feelings do not vanish because people choose silence. A betrayal does not become less painful simply because the family tries to move forward. If anything, silence can make everything worse. It gives pain time to grow. It gives anger time to harden. It gives the wrong person time to study the family and learn exactly where to strike. That is why the most dangerous enemy in season may second not be the loudest one. It may be the one who understands the family better than the family understands itself. This is where the title of this theory becomes so interesting. The enemy of both houses sounds like something bigger than a normal rivalry. It sounds like a force that does not belong to one side or the other. It sounds like someone who is willing to use both families for their own purpose. Maybe they want revenge. Maybe they want the ranch. Maybe they want power. Or maybe they simply want to watch the people who once looked untouchable tear each other apart. No matter the reason, the phrase suggests balance in destruction. Not one house winning and one house losing. Not one side being attacked while the other side stays safe. It suggests that both houses will suffer, and that is what makes this theory so dark. In a story built on family pride, there may be no safe corner left if the enemy truly knows how to play both sides. One of the smartest things Season 2 can do is make the audience question every relationship from the start. Not because every character is secretly evil, but because every character now has a weakness that can be used against them. That is what makes a prediction like this feel believable. The enemy does not need to be stronger than everyone in a physical sense. They only need to understand people. They only need to know who feels left out, who feels betrayed, who wants more power, who is desperate for approval, and who is carrying guilt from the past. Once someone has that knowledge, they do not have to attack the ranch with force. They can attack with timing. They can say the right thing to the right person at the right moment. They can turn one small doubt into a major betrayal. They can make a private fear feel like proof. And in a family already standing on weak ground, that can be enough to start a war. What makes this kind of storytelling work so well in ranch dramas is that the land is never just land. The ranch represents legacy. It represents identity. It represents everything the family believes it is fighting for. So when someone threatens the ranch, they are not only threatening property. They are threatening history, pride, and the future of the family name. That is why Season 2 has the chance to become much more emotional than Season 1. If the enemy of both houses truly wants to win, they will not just target the land. They will target the meaning of the land. They will force characters to question what they are protecting and whether the people standing beside them can still be trusted. And once trust breaks, the ranch becomes easier to take because the family is no longer fighting as one unit. There is also another reason this prediction feels so strong. Season 1 seems like the kind of story that was building toward a larger conflict rather than ending one. A lot of shows use the first season to introduce the world, establish the major family dynamics, and plant emotional problems that can grow later. That is exactly what Dutton Ranch appears ready to do. Instead of giving every character a clean E,